At People's Bank and Trust, they help their consumer and business customers spend their time living their life, not explaining it. At People's Bank and Trust, they put people first. Find out how they can help you by clicking their banner ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Robinson from Advanced Title. Whether selling your home on your own or through your local realtor, please give us a call at 824-8007 for all your title work needs.
WTIM. You're listening to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station, and the show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and we finish things off today with Diana Heeb Bivona, the Director of Continuing Education and Business Solutions at Lincoln Land Community College, and we're going to be talking today about the Professional Development Institute. Diana, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's good to have you on. And yeah, let's just start with kind of an overview of the Professional Development Institute for listeners who maybe aren't familiar with it. What's it all about?
So the Professional Development Institute, or we refer to it as PDI, is Lincoln Land's hub for professional and workforce training. We offer short-term, non-credit programs that help individuals build practical skills and help employers strengthen their workforce.
All right, and then yeah, in terms of like kind of what those classes are like, are they like one-off sessions, like longer like series? How is that like?
They're a combination of different things. We do a lot of short workshops, and depending on what the subject matter is, it could be a soft skill, it could be a 3-hour training. If we're doing something like a Microsoft Word or Power BI, something that's more technical, that might be an 8-hour session for a 1 day. Then we have some online self-paced programs that run anywhere from 8 weeks to 15 weeks. So we truly have a gamut of different types of workshops and classes.
Yeah, so a nice variety it seems like you have there, which sounds really cool. Now, in terms of kind of how it fits in with Lincoln Land Community College as a whole, with what the college, what its mission is, what it goes for, why is the PDI an important part of the college and its mission?
Well, PDI really allows Lincoln Land to respond quickly to changing workforce needs that we see in our community. Not everyone needs a degree or a semester-long course. Sometimes people just need a focused workshop, an industry credential, or training that addresses a specific workforce challenge. So we make that kind of type of education accessible to our community. So we kind of also take our learners, not just from age 18, but all the way through their work life in terms of trying to address their needs.
All right, and then yeah, and I know Elizabeth Fines Workman, who has come onto the show before, has talked a lot about having traditional students, some non-traditional students. Do you find that in terms of like non-traditional students, that like the PDI courses take up like a large part of what it is they do?
Yes, I think so. I mean, we serve a lot of individuals who are currently in the workforce, or they're trying to reskill, upskill, learn something new. So we really served a whole gamut of individuals, regardless of where they are in their careers right now. We see a lot of people who are just starting out, and they see they have a deficit of something they need to pick up. We've seen some people that are later in their careers that have decided that they want to push themselves a little bit further and pick up a new skill, particularly with AI on the horizon. So it's really wonderful to see that we have that entire gamut of individuals who are interested in learning something new, from whether they're at the beginning of their careers or more advanced.
That's really cool that you folks provide all of that. Now, in terms of folks who are looking to, either kind of move further along in their careers, move up, learn new skills, just talk about the kinds of topics that you folks cover at the PDI.
We have a gamut of different types of courses and workshops. On average, for all of our facilities here in Springfield, Taylorfield, Jacksonville, we offer over 50 to 60 different types of programs in the fall and in the spring. And so we offer training in everything from leadership and management, workplace communication, Microsoft Office products, Power BI, Power Automate, Excel. We have courses on AI. We have ones on project management, business and entrepreneurship. We even go into OSHA safety training. We have specialty certificates in CompTIA, which is for IT professionals. So we truly have I would think almost something for everyone in our catalog.
Yeah, and I like one of the things that stands out to me is like you had stuff that's like either about the soft skills or harder quote unquote skills that could still be relevant in a lot of careers, and then also stuff that's kind of tailored to certain career paths, certain job titles. Was that kind of the thinking when PDI started?
Yes, we obviously have a very diverse community when it comes to workforce needs. And so we've kind of tried to identify, and when we've talked to community members and we've talked to businesses, what are those areas of needs that you're seeing? And again, being a community college and closer to the ground, that allows us to respond quickly to what our community needs. So when somebody says to us, hey, we need more training, we need more soft skills, we need more background in leadership, it allows us to kind of go out and figure out what those workshops and courses are that they need and provide them in a very quick format.
And then in terms of some of these people who have been providing the like the feedback or like kind of what it is they're interested in, are we talking like local business leaders, people a little bit lower in company ladders, or who are kind of the stakeholders in those talks?
Well, we get it from a variety of different sources in terms of the feedback. When we offer courses open to the public, we always do evaluation forms, feedback forms, asking for them, what else would you like to see? Where do you see a need for this in your particular organization? Then we also annually hold business advisories in each of those communities and offer and welcome in our business leaders and professionals and ask them, what's the need that you're seeing in your companies? And we get feedback from them in that way as well. And then when we work with individual companies with customized training, they also provide us insights into areas that they see their employees need. And so then we are able to respond to that as well. So we're fortunate in being able to gather a lot of data from a variety of sources. And that really kind of allows us then to focus on the types of opportunities that we're going to provide for people.
Now, it sounds like you folks have like just a very like systematic way to get that feedback. Sounds like, you folks are putting that to use. And I think that's really cool as well. In terms of people, being able to take these courses, people have busy schedules. Maybe they can't get to, the Springfield campus necessarily all that easily around their work schedules. Talk about what options are available online for people who would like to take these courses that way.
We offer several flexible online options, including the self-paced courses that I mentioned, that people can kind of log in and complete on their own schedules. Then we have current options. Those current options include business and entrepreneurship classes, the CompTIA certifications for IT professionals. And then we have other professional development programs, online opportunities that we have developed with partner organizations, such as the Center for Legal Studies. So we have a paralegal program that you can complete online. We work with Career Step, who has provided several different types of medical training, short-term certificates. And then we also partner with Ed2Go and have a catalog of offerings of different types of courses there. So I think that, for people that are very rushed but are still trying to focus on learning those new skills, we've got a really good catalog of different types of learnings available to them.
And then in terms of where folks access these courses, where do they go?
Well, our best place to go is our llcc.edu/PDI page, which is on our Lincoln Land Community College main page. And we have a online catalog that is broken down into categories that people can browse through there. They can enroll for any classes through that website without needing to talk to anyone. They can pay for those, and then they will get, the announcements and emails as to when they're coming up. So I think that that's probably one of the fastest ways to do it. And then they can always call into our offices as well.
Okay, so plenty of ways to find out about the classes, see what might interest someone who looks into those. I'm talking right now with Diana Heeb Bivona, Director of Continuing Education and Business Solutions at Lincoln Land Community College. Let's take a break, and then when we come back, we'll talk more about the Professional Development Institute, including some opportunities coming up in Taylorville, and that'll be coming up right here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn and beans higher. Chicago wheat trading lower at this hour. September corn up 2.5, 464.5. December corn up 2 3/4, 487.5. And March corn 503, up 2 3/4. August beans up 7.5, 1240.5. September beans up 8.5, 1234.5. November beans up 8 3/4, 1247 3/4. September Chicago wheat 702.5, down 3 1/4. September KC wheat is down 3 3/4, 759 3/4. August bean meal up 290, 334.50. August bean oil up 47 cents, 75.95. Livestock trade August feeders 340, 322, up 205. August live cattle up $1.77, 224.97. August lean hogs down $0.50, $100.95. Energy market, September Brent crude oil up $5.88, 99.95. RFD Radio Network.
Does your bank offer rewards on qualified signature-based debit card purchases? If not, then we need to talk. Hi, my name is Julie Sanchez with People's Bank and Trust. Join the growing number of our customers who are earning cash back on all qualifying debit card purchases. You already use your debit card. Now make it work for you with Save by Spending rewards from People's Bank and Trust. Earning rewards is as easy as shop, sign, and save. Call 888-PBT-1954 and find out more about our Save by Spending rewards program today. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Let freedom ring with the Yawn Exterminators at Just Beds. Sparkle like it's 1776 with these savings. Take 10% off the already low sale price on Benco Haven, Max Life, Arctic Breeze, and Copper. Sweet dreams and independence from a bad bed are made easy with 15% off Chatham & Wells mattress sets. Visit the guys at Just Beds with free delivery, free setup, free removal, and freedom for all. A good night's sleep awaits at Just Beds on Montvale, locally owned since 1996.
Just Beds.
Hi, Christian County. This is Lou Johnson from McLean in Taylorville. Good news. We're currently accepting applications for warehouse positions, drivers, and driver trainees. At McLean, you'll find competitive wages, great benefits, and real opportunities to advance your career. For 130 years, we've built our success on taking care of our teammates. Ready to join our award-winning company? Apply today at joinmclane.com. That's joinmclane.com, or visit us at 600 South Spresser in Taylorville. McLean is an equal opportunity employer.
Pana schools provide excellence in education and are rooted in the Pana community. Become a part of Panther Pride and find out the great things happening in Pana schools by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Jansen's Heating and Air is the home of Dr. Comfort, focusing on customer care for heating and air conditioning across Central Illinois for some 35 years. Find out their services, specials, and coupons by clicking their icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM.
We're back on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station, and the show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and I continue with Diana Heeb Bivona, Director of Continuing Education and Business Solutions at Lincoln Land Community College. And we spent the first part of the show talking about the Professional Development Institute and kind of getting an overview of that. Now, the schedule of the PDI is, I'm sure, full of classes, and that would include actually classes at the Taylorville location right over here. I guess it would be on Spresser Street over actually near the fairgrounds, which are, of course, really busy nowadays. In terms of, what some of those classes are in Taylorville, Diana, what can folks expect?
Well, I think on the immediate agenda we have coming up in September and October, we've had a lot of obviously increased interest in AI, what it is, how can we use it. So we have 2 workshops that are coming up specifically in Taylorville on that AI. One of them will be on practical workplace uses for AI. How do we use it? What do we need to be aware of? So that's going to be a 3-hour workshop, and I think that's coming up in September. And then we also have one coming up in October out there in Taylorville on prompting and how to get more out of using your prompts in the AI system. That's a 3-hour workshop, I think, as well. And so those, if individuals register for those before September 1st using the discount code Early Bird, then they can get 50% off of those particular workshops. And so we're always adding additional ones. So I encourage people to continue to check that PDI website, and they can see what else is going to be offered or coming up in Taylorville as well.
All right. Yeah. So AI certainly a big topic that actually leads into something else I wanted to talk about. AI is obviously, a big part of life nowadays. It's a big part of workplaces. Some folks who are still kind of getting their feet wet in it, maybe aren't sure where to start. In terms of any advice for people, for businesses that kind of want to learn more about AI, prepare for whatever it is that comes next with AI, and who knows what that ends up being, where would you say folks should start?
It is a very overwhelming topic. It seems to be obviously very dominant in the news right now. And, people are all just trying to, there's a lot of stories that give us pause, and rightly so, in terms of where AI is and what it's doing in the workforce. I think the best advice that I would give people is to start small individually in terms of, just finding something like one of these workshops for 3 hours. You can't become an AI expert overnight. The field is changing so quickly. But I think it's important that you learn what the tools are, what they can and cannot do. Start experimenting with them with low risk things like brainstorming or drafting things. And I think for businesses, many of them are still playing catch up, trying to figure out, how's this going to work for us? Where can we use it? Where does it make sense? And so I think they need to start with trying to establish some very clear guidelines as to how they want employees to use it, to assist their employees in understanding the best ways to use it and to use it responsibly, and how they need to be able to protect confidential information for themselves as businesses. So it can be overwhelming when somebody looks at it, and it can almost be paralyzing to try and decide where you need to start. So I think you just need to jump in, start small, and then just grow from there.
Yeah, starting small, and I know certainly a lot of ethical concerns are out there about AI, and it sounds like you folks are addressing that with what you have, and in terms of what you mentioned right now, with what businesses can do, what people can talk about with respect to AI. You mentioned something back in the first segment that I actually wanted to dive quite deep into: customized training that the Professional Development Institute provides. Talk a little more about what that looks like, how businesses can get involved if what you have to say about it appeals to them.
So our customized training is another component of the PDI Institute, and it is what it says. Is we often get a lot of calls from employers who are heavily investing in their own employees, and so they might provide them with additional training when they see skills deficits, or they want to continue to provide them with additional opportunities to grow. So we're able to kind of come in and talk to them and have a conversation about what their goals are, their challenges, and what their employees need. And from that, we are then able to create a type of curriculum or some kind of customized training that is very specific to what they need. And then we also make sure that it is tailored with regard to their particular industry and maybe some of the problems that they are seeing, so that it resonates with them and it resonates with their employees. So we are often called in to do everything under the sun, from soft skill training of learning how to communicate more effectively, professionalism on the job, navigating challenges and stressors. So we also have a lot of frontline manager and supervisor type trainings that we do as well. And so we have been working more with employers that not just with one-off sessions. We can definitely do that, going in for like a 3-hour session and covering a topic. But we found that a lot of employers now are investing even more in their current employees. So we're doing series of trainings for them. And thanks to the Illinois Community College Board, we have received grant funding that allows us to often discount up to 50% off the training fee for these employers who would like to do these trainings. So it's really a win-win, I think, not just for the employees who are getting that additional training during work time, because who can show up after work to do an extensive training? And it's also benefiting the employer because they're investing in their employees and they are developing them, and they're more likely to then stick with that particular organization. So it's very enjoyable to get out there, and I'm very excited to see the number of businesses that have started to really commit to these long-term trainings for their employees.
No, that is great to hear about. We're just about out of time. Diana Heeb Bivona, Director of Continuing Education and Business Solutions at Lincoln Land Community College. Diana, thank you again.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for listening to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. Have a great day.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville. 96.1 FM Taylorville. 107.5 FM